It's an all-new episode of The Good Stuff. And today we're celebrating Canada's coasts. Mary's kicking things off with the ultimate East Coast comfort food, her dreamy clam linguini.
You know when you go to someone's house and this is the smell? You know you're in for a good thing.
Then, Owen Reeves takes us on a trip to St. John's and beyond with the best coastal getaways across Canada. Plus, need to know what to wear on the waterfront? Stylist Antonia Fifi's got you covered. And hold on to your shells. Mary's going head-to-head with Canada's Oyster Shucking champ.
Let's do this thing.
It all starts right now.
We are going coastal, and I'm very thrilled because I wore my shrimp pants, so we are ready for the ocean. We're gonna start things off though right here in the kitchen, and I am going to make one of my family's all-time favorite pasta dishes. We are making dreamy clam linguini. Clam linguini. Do we typically use fresh clams? No, we use canned clams. There's nothing wrong with using canned clams too. They're really, really great, super, super economical, and you get like a gajillion clams in that can. Like if I were to have fresh clams of the amount that you get in the can, this whole thing would be clams. So I am using fresh clams today because I wanted to show you because they look really pretty. They're a little more exciting. But again, at home, feel free to use canned. It's a total dream. Just in case you are looking for a little bit of a project though, I wanted to show you how to work with fresh clams. So I've got some here. For this recipe, you want like about 30. I'm going a little less just because these are good, big, nice clams. These are little necks. So they're like a nice size. They cook up really beautifully, nice and juicy and sweet and salty. So what I've done is I have soaked these in a bowl of cold water that has salt in it. Typically I do about 3 liters of water to about a 1/4 cup of salt. What that's gonna do is it's gonna make those clams get rid of any of that sandiness they might have going on. Because bivalves, basically they eat by just sucking in a bunch of ocean water and then taking all the deliciousness and then spitting out the rest of it. Sometimes they don't spit out all the sand, and we want to get them to do that. So by putting in clean, salty water, that's hopefully gonna happen and you're gonna get perfect clams every time. Now, I've got a potato brush here, any sort of good kind of stiff bristled brush. You can also use a toothbrush, unused toothbrush, please. But you wanna give them just a little bit of a scrub. They can sometimes have a little bit of just some like ocean-y stuff on there. Just a little bit of a scrub is all you need. So again, working with clams, it's a little bit of work, but they are absolutely delicious. All right, those are looking good to me. So now what I wanna do is get those out of the water. So I'm just gonna actually use my hands and kind of scoop them up. If you're a little nervous, because they do open up and then they kind of like do this, like a little bit of a, just watch out. Give them a little bit of a poke and they'll be like, oh, no, and they'll close up and you'll be good to go. Now, if you wanted to do this soaking process earlier, you can totally do that. What I do is put a little bit of paper towel in this bowl and pop it in the fridge. You wanna keep these nice and cold so they stay nice and fresh. Now, I'm gonna get right on to the sauce, so those are looking good for me. Now, for the sauce, it's super simple. It's basically like an oily, garlicky deliciousness. So I've got a pan here over about medium heat, and into there I'm going in with about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. It is an oily sauce, so you do wanna use a good amount of olive oil, and you are gonna be, whoop, she got a little bit of water in there, don't worry about it. Okay, perfect. Now into there, we're gonna go in with a shallot. Now, if you don't have a shallot, you could definitely use an onion. This is about 1 shallot. Use about half of an onion. Yellow or red will be good. Add that right on into that oil. Give it a quick season with a bit of salt. What that salt's gonna do is it's gonna kind of help draw moisture out of that shallot, helping it cook down and caramelize quicker. Now, you just want that to cook down for just about, I'd say, a minute, just until softened. While that does its thing though, I'm gonna chop up some garlic. Now, since this is a really simple sauce, I'm gonna slice my garlic. I want it to be a little sweeter. So garlic is a funny thing. The more you cut it, the punchier and stronger it gets. So by slicing your garlic, even though you're gonna have bigger pieces, as it cooks down, it's going to taste less punchy. It's gonna be nice and sweet and delicious. So nice sliced garlic, 2 cloves, maybe 3 if you're feeling it, but we're going 2 today. And I'm gonna add that right on into the pan. You'll see the shallot's already turning golden brown, which is a dream. Pop that on in. And I'm not gonna lie, you know when you go to someone's house and this is the smell? You know you're in for a good thing. That's always a good thing. All right, again, a little bit more salt just to help that garlic do its thing. And into there, I'm also gonna go in with some heat. Now, I'm not using pepper in this recipe. For some reason, I don't love it in my clam linguine, but I do like chili flakes. So right? Yeah. Okay, we're feeling good about chili flakes. I'm gonna go in with about a half a teaspoon. Since we've got some chili fans, might go a little bit bigger than that. Add that in. They can handle it for sure. All right, give that a good mix. Now, you just want that to toast off for about 30 seconds to a minute. The garlic is already smelling perfumey. Those chilies are getting a little toasty, which is a dream. So now I'm gonna deglaze this pan and help build everything together. And for that, we need our good friend dry white wine. We always love a dry white wine. Now, this is the wine that you have that's like your classic go-to house white. You don't want to use the like stuff you're saving for company coming over. You want to use something that you like to drink. It'll cook down and be absolutely beautiful. So, deglazing that pan with, in the recipe I say half a cup of wine, but I just poured in a cup, so you do you. Yeah. You know, measure with your heart, we're all good. And you want that just to cook down for just about a minute, just to thicken slightly and reduce a little bit. So while that does its thing and gets cooking down, that's looking beautiful, I'm gonna season up my water. So I'm going to be making some pasta, which is a dream. Now, anytime you're making pasta, especially if you're going fresh, I like to season the water really well because it's not in there for too long. So you wanna give it a good seasoning, just so those noodles get nice and tasty. I always feel it in the audience when I'm adding that salt and everyone's like, don't worry about it, it's good. Most of that goes down the drain, it's fine. All right, this wine mixture is looking beautiful, still nice and juicy, but I'm gonna go in now with my clams. So I've got those babies. This is the weirdest part of the recipe and when working with fresh clams is it feels like you're just dumping rocks into a pan, but you're not, it's gonna be good. So just add those right on in. Bring that up a little bit in heat, and then you wanna cover them. Clams are very interesting. They basically tell you when they are done. Once they're open, they are done, and we're happy with that. I'm feeling good. So I'm gonna leave that lid on. Those need about 5, maybe 7 minutes to open up, depending on the size of clam you're using. But this is looking great. I'm gonna turn this water up, bring that to a boil. While that comes up to a boil, let's chat the pasta. So if you want to, you can use like classic dried linguini, something like that. You could also use fresh. If you're making it fresh, you could buy the fresh stuff. But I've got a bit of a hack, and it's using lasagna sheets. And this is a really great way to trick all your friends into thinking you made fresh pasta. So we've got a pack of lasagna sheets here. That's about 350-ish grams. And basically all you want to do is just slice this into, you know, linguini, fettuccine, etc. shapes. I will say, the messier you are, the more homemade they look, which is a dream. So, you know, you can cut out shapes, you can have fun, you can make your own alphagetti if you're feeling it. But if you want to as well, you can go pappardelle, which I'm clearly turning into because we're trying to get this done quick. The bigger you cut the noodle, the quicker you are, so it's good to go. This is a trick that I use pretty much, anytime I want to look like I'm being impressive. Lasagna sheets are also great if you want to make something like a cannelloni. Using a lasagna sheet as opposed to the dry stuff, those dry tubes that you get at the grocery store, is so much easier. Because basically you just roll it up as opposed to having to stuff those little tubes. Ugh, no one has time for that. All right, this is looking beautiful. I'm just gonna make about a half portion of this pasta because I don't have time to cut all these noodles. I'm not gonna lie. But basically, just cut them up, give them a little bit of a zhuzh, and it kind of looks like you made homemade pasta. Total dream. All right, I'm gonna add these right on into my pot, let them do their thing. And while those start to cook down, I'm gonna get to work on a crispy topping. Now, there are a couple things in the kitchen that people think you cannot do. And one of those things is mixing fish and cheese. I do not follow that rule, I'm not gonna lie. I love fish and cheese. I know, it's chaos, but it's delicious. But with this dish, I'm not gonna do it. I'm gonna stick to the purest side, but we are gonna give it a little bit of a crispy, crunchy topping. So I've got a pan here of about medium heat. Into there, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of oil. Ooh, that is a spicy pan. Okay, cool. A little bit of oil in there. Then I'm gonna go in with some garlic. Now, as opposed to slicing this garlic, I'm gonna mince this because I want it good and punchy. So I'm just gonna grate that right on over top. Tap that on in. Starts cooking immediately. Now, before that starts to brown, I'm going in with about a quarter cup, maybe half a cup of panko. Panko is gonna give you like a crunch and a crumb that's gonna give you that flavor you're looking for and that little bit of texture that sometimes like Parmesan cheese or something does, but without giving you that cheese. I'm gonna add a little bit of spice, because again, I like a little bit of chili with mine. And I'm feeling, ooh, very good to go. Okay, we're gonna let that get toasty. The noodles are cooking, the clams are doing their thing. I'm really quickly gonna get started on the kind of finishing piece of this recipe. Because anytime you are making clam linguine, it comes together toot sweet. As soon as those noodles are done and those clams are done, you better be putting it on a plate. So I have got a little cutting board here, obviously, and I've got a lemon. I like a little bit of lemon, brightens things up. So I'm gonna go into a bowl with the zest of about half of a lemon, maybe a whole, depending on what you're thinking. Tap that in. Then I'm gonna go in with some lemon juice as well. Little bit of lemon juice is gonna brighten everything up. We already have acidity from the white wine, which will be really nice, but this is gonna be absolutely beautiful. Then into there, some fresh parsley or any sort of fine herb you have. If you've got chives, that would be delicious. Tarragon would be wonderful. Parsley's kind of classic though. Chop it up however fine you want. Pop that in the bowl. Now let's go have a peek to see if those clams are done. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. Now, this is the point where you look through. If there are any clams that are not open, for instance, this little friend, he is not open. He's getting out of here. If they don't open, it typically means maybe not the best to eat, so we're gonna toss him aside. But any little clams that have opened up beautifully are perfect. You get all of that brine. Do you see how much juice is in here too? That is all just sauce, baby. All right, now I'm gonna add those noodles straight on into this pan. Give them a bit of a toss. This is a lot of clams, little linguine, but you know, make a little more linguine for your friends. We've also got that panko doing its thing. It's nice and golden, a little bit charred, and it looks and smells absolutely delicious. All right, noodles in, give that a bit of a toss. If it's feeling like it needs it, a little bit of that cooking liquid will be a dream, but to me, this looks perfect. All right, let's go plate this up. Easy as, oh wait, no, don't forget about this. Mary Berg, lemon. I'm too excited about these clams. All right, it's the pants. I'm feeling really good. All right, we're gonna go in with that lemon juice, lemon zest, and that beautiful parsley just to give it that bit of color. Total dream. All right, let's go plate it up now. So bringing it on over. I love just plating it in a big bowl. You get all those clams, all that juice. You pop that in, looking beautiful. Just arrange those clams all over the top. You've got that beautifulness, all of that lovely, lovely parsley, and then on top, those little bit of crunchies. I mean, to me, that looks like a seafood feast. This is gonna be boiling lava hot. I'm gonna give it a taste, but we gotta take a quick break. Fingers crossed I don't have a burnt mouth when we come back, but we'll be right back.
Up next, need to know what to wear on the waterfront? Stylist Antonia Fifi's got you covered. That's coming up next. In just 3 days, something big is happening on The Good Stuff. After years in the making, Mary's got a major announcement. And trust us, you don't want to miss it. That's Thursday, June 5th on The Good Stuff.
When Antonia Fifi is here. Hey, Antonia, how's it going?
Amazing.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, I am thrilled. We are going coastal today, and I could think of no one better than you to talk us through some kind of like coastal chic fashion.
That's right. Yeah, to me, coastal is a blend of Preppy and Earthy.
Yeah.
Earthy because we're talking about, you know, natural fibers and sort of raw materials like cotton and linen and leather and straw. And Preppy because the color palette and the silhouettes really speak to that, right?
Yeah.
Stripes and white and blue and nudes and really in shapes that are a little more traditional.
Okay, fantastic. Now, if you like any of the pieces you're about to see, just scan the QR code on your screen. Let's take a look at the first look on Amina. Come on out. Oh, this is, I'm seeing the Preppy. I'm seeing the Preppy, okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I put her in a stripe matching set. Stripes, of course, really big in coastal fashion. And fashion hack, a matching set is really the hack because there's no styling necessary.
Yeah.
However, of course, I had to zhuzh it up a little bit, otherwise you wouldn't invite me back onto the show.
Yeah, we gotta do an Antonia Fifi zhuzh.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I've added a shirt that, again, a linen blend from RW & Co. below, layered also on top with a blazer that pulls out those blue hues, really ties it together. And we want to add those, you know, natural elements. So we have a shoe on her feet that are leather, a little bit of gold detailing.
So cute.
The bag has the straw, again, adds a little bit of a leather detail into it to really speaks to coastal. And then the earrings.
Yes.
The clams, right? Clams are trending big time.
Yeah.
So I got these from a Canadian woman-owned boutique.
Nice.
Cowley shop. We love them. They are a designer pair, so they run a little more pricey. But of course, this trend has really been picking up speed. It's not slowing down. So you're gonna get a lot of wear out of these.
I love it. This is such a good look. Amina, you look fantastic. Thank you so much. Great job. So cute. I love a matching set and I love a stripe.
Yeah, and I wanted to give her something like coastal that she could wear, you know, in the city. You can wear it to work even.
Yeah, you don't just look like you're going literally to the beach. All right, next up, we have got Win. Come on out. This is so pretty, Win. Okay.
She looks so beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Okay, so a staple of coastal fashion, you want a linen or a cotton white dress.
Yeah.
And better yet, a shirt dress, because then that speaks to the preppy but earthy, right? Okay, so we've tied it together. For this, I gave her a little more glam, and we have some gold detailing. Once again, she's got clam earrings, but these are from Zara, showing that this trend you can get at any price point.
Got it,
right?
yeah.
Again, the cuff on her wrist is a set with those earrings.
Oh,
so again,
cute.
it has that kind of clam look about it. And finished off with some straw. We have a straw belt and a bag from Marshall's.
With a fringe.
With a fringe.
Yeah.
Because one, it has a little bit of the gold that pulls the whole look together. And it's got a fringe because coastal, like I said, I feel like coastal and boho are sisters.
Totally.
You know, right? So that sort of ties it together. And on her feet, these are from Aldo. Again, boho and coastal are sisters. And I really love these on Win because it shows me and shows us that style is accessible at any age.
Yeah, this is stunning.
Yeah.
Win, you look beautiful. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I love that dress. That is a must buy for sure for me.
Absolutely.
All right, we've got a last look on a book. Come on out, a book. Oh, a book. Yes.
Yeah, stunning.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we love this. Okay, so another staple of coastal are knits.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of times we see that with knits, with, shorts and things like that, but absolutely we can do it in a dress. A little bit of a shameless plug here.
Yeah.
This dress is actually a Tony Fifi by Reitman's piece.
Yeah, it is. No big deal. Yeah.
My collection with Reitman's, and no bias at all.
Yeah.
But I love it because we've got that sort of open knit on the top and the bottom, opaque through the middle, so you get a little bit of sexy without being too exposed, right? And again, in a nude that speaks to coastal fashion. And then we have this really great glamorous straw hat that we're adding in those straw elements.
And I love that it's a visor, that it's not all like covering the top too.
Absolutely, so her ponytail can peek through, right?
Yeah.
And the earrings from RW & Co. We're keeping the shells consistent. Again, a great price point on these. And here I have strayed a little bit from that traditional blue and white, and you're gonna see a lot of that in this trend through 2025, that you are adding reds and browns and the little tones that vary a little bit, because a lot of us want warmer tones. We feel more comfortable in those colors.
Totally.
So this bag, still in the straw, we have some reds and browns, and we've taken that down in the shoe that is from Aldo with, it almost looks like little stones, like they're full stones. Again, bringing in the orange and the reds and the browns.
Absolutely stunning. A book, you look fantastic. Tony, this dress.
Thank you.
Amazing job. That's fantastic. And studio audience to help you style your own coastal looks, thanks to the proudly Canadian company Bolero Eyewear. You're all going home with a pair of their sunglasses. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. That was great. This is so cute. I literally was going to ask, I was like, is this a you? 'Cause it's
Coming up, Owen Reeves takes us on a trip to St. John's and beyond with the best coastal getaways across Canada.
inspired by Canada's beautiful coast, Owen Reeves takes us with him on his adventures in Newfoundland. Check it out.
Hi, Mary. Welcome to Cape Spear. I'm here in Newfoundland for a few days of hiking along the iconic East Coast Trail. It's world-renowned for incredible coastal views, beautiful fishing villages, and the occasional lighthouse or two. Now, I'm keen to earn that lobster supper, so let's hit the trail and get after it. To make sure your hike is enjoyable and safe, it's very important to make sure you're picking a route that matches your experience and fitness levels. Hiking trails are rated from easy to hard or strenuous. Easy trails are approachable for people of all fitness levels. They involve mostly flat terrain and are well marked. Today, we are on the Spout Path, which is rated as strenuous. This trail has highly varied, difficult terrain, lots of changes in elevation, and a longer distance. So it's really important that we have the right gear and enough time to finish this trail. Whenever I am out for a hike, there's always a few essentials that I throw in my pack. I've got a first aid kit, I've got my maps, I've got lots of water, and always tons of snacks. Hiking burns a lot of calories, and there's nothing worse than being hungry on the trail. Whenever you're out for a hike, how you dress can often make the difference between a great day and a miserable time. If you're hiking at high elevations, or like we are on the coast, you need to be prepared for dramatic and even dangerous changes in weather in really short periods of time. Best way to prep for that is to dress in layers. My basic setup is a merino wool base layer that will pull moisture away from my body, a mid layer that will offer some insulation, and an outer layer that will help block the wind and shed some light precipitation. It's also really important to always pack a raincoat, even if the weather looks great. The most important piece of kit for hiking is our footwear. You want something that is comfortable, supportive, and has a good stout sole so that you have traction in slippery and muddy conditions. And if you're hiking outside of the summer months, waterproof footwear is highly recommended. From coast to coast, Canada is blessed with some of the most incredible wild spaces in the whole world. And with a little planning and a little prep and a few steps, anyone can get out and enjoy them.
Wow, everybody, please welcome Owen Reeves. Owen, I was joking. I was like, all of this looks like you're standing in front of a fake background. It's
I know,
so beautiful.
Right? That's all of Newfoundland. It's just you're standing behind a fake background, but it's real.
Yeah, but it's actually real. Okay, so that was absolutely fantastic. But you're going to take us to a couple other coastal adventures people can do in Canada.
Yes, absolutely. We're going to go to both coasts. We're going to get it all covered.
Okay, so first up, we're stopping off in Haida Gwaii.
Haida Gwaii, yeah. And this is somewhere I'm going next year.
Oh.
Very excited to go. So this is north of Vancouver Island. So this is I know, right? This is a chain of islands Islands, very rugged, where you're getting the combination of coastline, but also the forests that you get on that western coast of BC. Incredible place for whale watching, as you can see.
Yeah.
And this is also the home of the Haida people, who, of course, are world-renowned for totem poles.
Yeah.
So there are still traditional villages in Haida Gwaii. It's a place that is still very rugged, and where you're going to be able to get a really amazing outdoorsy tourist experience.
Yeah.
This is, I'm going to say, for the adventurous types. It's not right around the corner. It's decently up the coast in BC, but it's one of those places where you need to travel a little bit to find those kind of untouched spots. And an incredibly rich cultural heritage there too, which is amazing.
Absolutely, it's stunning. All right, we're sticking in BC for this next one, but we're going to Tofino.
Yeah.
What are we doing in Tofino?
So going a little bit south to Vancouver Island. So Tofino's on the northwest part of Vancouver Island, and this is a place. Actually, we got Ucluelet here, which is just south of Tofino. Beautiful communities there, and these are spots where there is surfing is one of the most popular activities out there. So again, if you're feeling adventurous, but these are also incredibly romantic spots. So if you're looking for amazing getaways, there are some incredible hotels, incredible hospitality out there. And one of the big activities that happens later on in the season is actually storm watching, where these incredibly dramatic storms come off the Pacific, and you can get a room in a hotel and watch these crazy storms roll in from the comfort of a 5-star hotel.
Owen, that sounds like my dream vacation.
I'm telling you. And again, you get the beautiful forests and those rugged coastlines that you get in BC. I love Vancouver Island. The whole island is amazing, and this is a really cool corner of it.
So good. That's amazing. All right, let's head back to the East Coast. We're going to Cape Breton Island. Cape Breton. Yeah.
I think Cape Breton is one of my favorite places I've ever visited in Canada. And this is a spot, if you're looking for an incredible family road trip. So the Cabot Trail that goes basically all around Cape Breton Island is absolutely stunning. The Cape Breton Highlands National Park is there. So incredible hiking, sea kayaking, and really rugged wilderness where this is where a lot of settlers from Scotland that came over. So Gaelic is actually still spoken in Cape Breton.
Oh, cool.
And they also have Caileys. So incredible place for live music, great place for seafood. And if you love the outdoors, and really interesting small communities, it's a stunning place to visit.
Oh my gosh, I feel like my itinerary for anywhere I'm going is growing by the second. Now, this next one I have been to, we're heading to Charlottetown, PEI.
Now, see? PEI is one of 2 provinces I haven't been to.
What?
I haven't been to Saskatchewan or PEI, so they're still on the list.
Okay.
But Charlottetown, I mean, a lovely, smaller city. And this is a place where the pace of life is maybe a little slower than it is in some other places in Canada. Incredibly picturesque towns where you have the colorful houses. Another incredible spot for live music. This is also one of the best places in Canada to go golfing. So if you're somebody who loves golfing, there are courses literally on the water, so you can have the ocean in the background when you're teeing off. And a great spot. I mean, if you were there for a week, I feel like you could tour a lot of Prince Edward Island. Charlottetown, I'm sure, is going to be a highlight, but a lovely place that's high on my list to visit.
It's fantastic, and they make my favorite cheese.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no big
that's a big
deal.
claim.
That's
Mary's
a big
favorite
claim.
cheese.
Mary's favorite cheese from PEI. Oh, and thank you so much. That was awesome.
Love it.
That was
Thank
so
you.
great. We got to take a quick break. We'll be right back. That was so good. Here with a taste of the sea, please welcome Paul Lillakas to the show. Hello, Paul. Paul, I feel like I know you. I see you on your morning. I see you around the building, right? Okay, I'm very excited. You have quite the resume to boast. Private chef, winner of Chopped Canada, food magazine editor, and my personal fave, collector of bacon fat.
That's the only one I get.
Yeah, that's the best one for sure. It's so good.
It is. If you're not keeping bacon fat to fry your onions in, it's like getting line bypass at Disneyland. Always worth it.
100%. I love that energy. Okay, so I'm really excited. What are we making today?
Okay, so we're gonna make some crab cakes. One of my absolute favorite things in the whole wide world that people just don't make at home. But it's not that hard to do.
No. Okay, perfect. What are we starting with?
Okay, so we're gonna start with our crab cake mixture.
Okay.
So I've got a little bit of mayonnaise I'm gonna put right here in this bowl.
See, this is one thing I love about crab cakes is the binder is mayonnaise as opposed to like an egg or something.
Yes, the egg will come later.
Yeah.
I'm adding a little bit of green onion to that. and some garlic here. Actually, quite a bit of garlic.
Love this energy, Paul. This is why we're immediate friends.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Big flavor, but not that many ingredients.
Yeah.
That's key.
That is key.
Especially these days.
Yeah, yeah.
So into that, I'm going to add some saltines. This kind of acts as that binding agent, but
Yeah.
not a ton of them.
No, it's almost like I think this is so correct. Anytime you're doing a seafood something like this, as opposed to using breadcrumbs, crushed up saltines.
Saltines, there's something, you'll see it again and again in seafood restaurants,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for it. They're kind of neutral, and they soak up moisture really well.
Totally.
So in this case, we're adding we're gonna use some imitation crab meat here. If you can, get your hands on some snow crab meat, one of the absolute best things from the east coast of Canada.
Yeah.
But if you can't get your hands on it, a cup and a half of imitation crab meat, surimi, and then we're going to just crush that up and mix it all together.
Nice.
And I like for it to be the crab to be quite crushed up.
Okay.
So, I mean, some people like it to be big chunks of it. This is I kind of squish them a little because I want this to be malleable.
Yeah, you want to be able to actually form it into a crab cake as opposed to like a crab salad.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right, while you do that, I'm going to get working on that egg.
So crack that egg into there. Everyone knows what that's going to be for.
Yeah, I know. I feel like we got it.
I feel like every other recipe I develop has a breading station.
Literally same. I'm like, if I can make it crunchy, I'm going to make it crunchy.
Yes, yeah. And everybody loves something crispy on the
It's true,
outside,
it's
decadent
true.
on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to take about a quarter of this, and I'm going to form it into a ball, and then smush it into a patty shape.
Okay.
Okay, and you see, it kind of is like delicious Play-Doh. It forms perfectly into that shape.
Yeah.
And then it's going to go into that mixture there.
Okay.
I'm going to grab a fork here, into that egg. Mixture, it's just egg.
Yeah. Mixed egg.
Mixed egg.
Yeah.
And then into some panko.
I love that we're using panko for that extra crunch,
It gets
right?
lovely and crispy on the outside, and it makes a nice delicate coating. You don't want too much, but you want it to be coated.
Yeah.
And then it's pretty forgiving, so we can put that back together. And now here's the key part. We're going to put these in the fridge to chill.
Okay.
For about a half an hour.
Okay.
And that will help keep them together when they're frying.
Yeah.
It's not a step that you want to skip by any means.
No, sometimes it's like, okay, chill it if you have time, but with these babies, it allows those the saltines to kind of hydrate a little bit, hold everything together. Look at
that
those little
holds
babies.
everything together.
Yeah, so
and
good.
Then we have some canola oil here that I've heated to about 350. Use a thermometer if you can.
Yeah.
Get it to around 325, 350, and then these go right in, and you want it to sizzle.
We're getting a little sizz. Oh, you're seeing it. You're seeing it. Okay. Oh, I'm excited. I love a crab cake, guys.
I love a crab
They're
cake.
so good.
And what I would say is, don't worry about flipping it a few times while frying. Because we're shallow frying it, that way you can kind of keep the bottom from burning and you can control an even browning.
Yeah.
Because what you want is for these to have that nice, even golden browning. And when they're done, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, depending how hot your oil is, they're gonna come out looking just like this.
Look at those. This is
Beautiful
so...
golden brown.
Do you know what I love about this? I feel like we're gonna, with Paul Lillakas here, we're gonna fancy it up a bit.
Yes.
But I put that on a bun.
Oh, that would make a
On a
delicious crab
bun,
cake
right?
slider.
Sandwich. Okay, so but we need a sauce, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, so into this bowl, I want something with a little bit of acidity here to balance the richness of the crab cake.
Okay.
So if you want to whisk that,
Perfect.
I'm going to add a little bit of milk. We're going to thin that.
Do you need a knife? I'm gonna go get you a knife.
No need. I got a half of them here.
Fantastic.
Some chopped capers. I say anybody who is a caper, denialist or isn't sure about them.
Yeah, because I feel like if you haven't had them, you're like, wait, what is it? They're delicious.
They're
is what
delicious.
They are. Yeah.
Chop them up and put them in something like this that
Yeah.
could use a little bit of that salty brininess.
Totally.
Some lemon zest and lemon juice. And this will brighten everything up. And as you mix that, it will thicken.
As soon as you added the lemon juice, it's thickening.
Right, and it almost is kind of like a delicious ranchy dressing.
Yes, 100%. Okay,
Yeah.
amazing.
And then we're going to put these, this is like a delicious entree that you would serve on a patio with a glass of cold white wine.
Okay.
So, onto this plate where I have some little gem lettuce or baby romaine and some radicchio. So just a chiffonade of radicchio, that adds bitterness because this is rich. This is a little rich. That bitterness with the acidity from the lemon, that's gonna make this brilliant.
It's just gonna cut through everything. Oh my gosh.
And some avocado. I threw a little bit of avocado on there. And now
Okay,
we're
I'm
just
excited.
going to dress this
Yes.
just like this because this is a knife and fork salad.
It is. Little salt.
Exactly. You want to see everything on there.
Paul, I'm excited. This looks absolutely stunning. It's creamy, it's dreamy. I am excited.
It's not hard to make. I'm glad you're excited. I want you to try maybe a little lemon on there like that.
Okay,
so you can squeeze.
I'm gonna do what I like to do at home. Spoiler alert, I like a thing that I call hand salad.
Yes.
So I'm gonna pick this up and we're gonna give it a taste. Paul, let's go. Okay, cheers to you, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers, let's go. A+ work. We gotta take a quick break, but we will be right back. Great job. What happens when a security robot overrides its programming? You get Apple TV Plus's new comedic sci-fi series, Murderbot.
What should I call myself? Security Unit 238776431 just doesn't have the right ring to it. How about Freedom Unit? Or Rogue Bot? No, that sucks. Maybe Murderbot? Murderbot. All right. Let the adventure begin.
Oh my gosh, please welcome two of the show stars, Canada's own Tattiawna Jones and Tamara Podemski. Hello, ladies. Okay, first off, huge congratulations on Murderbot.
Thank you.
Oh, so fun. Okay, so you worked with Emmy Award winner Alexander Skarsgård, who plays Murderbot, the Murderbot in question. Tell us a little bit about the series.
So Murderbot is a sci-fi comedy thriller, let's put in as many things as we can, about a rogue security unit robot who would rather watch cheesy soap operas than hang out with humans.
Honestly, fantastic idea. Yeah.
Rude. Rude bot. That's
Rude
what I
bot.
call it.
I like that. I like that. Amazing. Now, this show is actually based on a book series, The Murderbot Diaries. Had either of you read the book before? Had you been introduced to it?
No, I hadn't read any of the books. I actually came to the books by way of this audition.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So once we got the audition, and then I thought, oh, okay, we're doing research, and discovered this incredible world that Martha Wells has written and created, and there's such a fan following for the book. So, I mean, I play Arad on the show, and she's a combination of a few characters in the book, so I'm very excited to see what the book lovers think and how they respond to our adaptation.
But also like a shout out to also read the books.
Oh,
like you
100%.
have like
Yeah.
10 hours,
Also.
10 hours before it comes out. But they're nice short books. There's like 7 of them.
My husband's a huge fan. Like, genuinely.
You can't stop.
No,
Once
they
you're
are,
in
you
one-
crush them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just go through.
Yeah.
So what was it that originally drew you to the role? And also, is it intimidating taking on a role that people are familiar with and has such a fan following?
Yeah, and there are boards.
Okay.
Like, boards,
Got it.
Reddit boards.
They're ready to talk about
devoted
it.
to this show.
Yeah.
I think because Martha Wells, the writer, is also a producer on the show, and we had her blessing, you know that you are in good hands.
Yeah.
You know that she is, everything goes through her, and she's kind of, she's said, you guys are on the right path. So that was very comforting.
That is a
yes,
good
it's
thing.
scary.
Yeah.
We did get to meet Martha on the day, and I personally was like, is it like meeting God? Because she created the world.
Honestly, what a question.
Incredible human being, so talented
Yeah.
and lovely.
That's amazing. Yeah, I feel like getting to meet the person who actually conceptualized and created these characters and these people would be absolutely amazing. Speaking of going into a universe, maybe that's already developed, the Murderbot universe obviously takes place in outer space, but you actually filmed here in Toronto,
Yeah.
so it was a little bit of a homecoming for you.
Yes.
What was it like when you stepped onto the set with everything from costuming to production design? What was it like stepping into that world? Of
I
Murderbot?
cried.
I think we all cried. So,
Okay.
so Sue Chan, who's the production designer, and,
Yeah.
and she will always say, "It's my team, it's my team." And yes, it is the team.
Yeah.
But you know, what the world she imagined and created when we walked on set into our, it's kind of a hub when you go to a planet and you set up a habitat. It's breathtaking, and I think it does translate to the screen.
Yeah.
The aesthetic of the show is stunning, and it is not your usual sci-fi kind of dreary gray, kind of harsh contrast. It's so colorful and beautiful. This is why we dress like this.
I'm appreciating
when we
it.
are representing Murderbot, because it's a colorful, vibrant, rich world.
Yeah, that's so fantastic. Well, like you mentioned earlier, Murderbot names himself, which we saw in the, which I love. What a fantastic
Itself.
name.
They love identifying as
Itself.
Yes,
Yes.
they identify.
Murderbot named itself.
Yes.
But then it's like a potential, it's a scary name. Like that's an intimidating name.
Very.
But loves watching soap operas. A little bit of a left turn on what you would expect from Murderbot. Do either of you have like a shocking or surprising hobby or binge watch that you love to do when you're trying to just kind of get away from it all?
I go reality world, and I
Okay.
go like the competitions. Canada's Ultimate Challenge.
Yeah, so good.
Ooh, that's a
And there's just not enough.
Yeah.
You know, that's when you go back to like Amazing Race Canada or something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, 10 seasons, great, I can get my fill. No, there's like 3.
Yeah.
And you're like, no.
You're like, come on,
Yes.
let's do some more.
I'm waiting. I'll watch Murderbot.
Okay,
That'll be
fantastic.
my binge
There
show.
you go. I
like
love that answer.
I'm solving all the true crimes with my dog. That's what I'm doing at home.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
just
Yeah,
solving
those
the
are
true
hard.
crimes
Those
with the
are-
dog.
This is good.
And that makes you happy, the true crime.
Yeah. She is better at it than I am, but hey, that's
Of course. I was like, just the nose on her. I feel like that's a good thing.
it's exactly that. Yeah.
Personally, really into birds. Yeah, hot tip, really relaxing.
Bird watching,
bird
the
watching,
whole
bird
thing.
listening, all the birds. It's a good thing.
That's having a thing.
I have so many pairs of binoculars, it's not even funny. Yeah.
Okay, we might have to get a recommended
we'll
brand
talk,
for me then.
100%.
Yeah, all right.
Well, huge congratulations on the show. Thank you so much for both being here today. Check out Murderbot on Apple TV+. We got to take a quick break, but we'll be right back.
Coming up, Mary's going head-to-head with Canada's oyster shucking champ. Don't miss it.
I am about to put my shucking skills to the test. Everyone, please welcome the reigning Canadian oyster shucking champion, Chris Manocchio. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Hey, Mary, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Now, Chris, how does one become Canada's oyster shucking champ?
Well, aside from opening a lot of oysters consistently,
Yeah.
you've got to head out to Prince Edward Island.
Yeah.
And there's a small town called Tyne Valley where we compete and for the whole country.
Yeah.
So the best of Canada all show up there.
Oh, wow.
In true Canadian fashion, we're in a hockey arena.
Of course.
Under some floodlights, and we shuck 18 oysters as fast as we can, as nice as we can.
Okay, and well, that looks like a good party. How fast can you shuck 18 oysters?
So I'll do 18 in about 1:22 seconds, more or less. Yeah.
Y'all, that is very fast. Now, you bring this kind of maritime spirit across the country, including to our very own Ontario Oyster Festival, which you've also conquered. And I hear that you have a little bit of a trophy from winning that.
I do. I mean, these all come with trophies. This one's a little special because you might notice it has a bit of a theme. We had a wrestling theme last year. It was
Excellent.
Oyster Mania.
Oyster Mania.
I didn't have to put anybody through a table for this one, but I did have to shuck oysters pretty fast.
Epic. Have you ever actually worn that?
Yes.
Okay, cool,
all
good.
the time.
Fantastic. It's your go-to. And look at you. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. Okay, very, very good. Ontario Oyster Festival, so much fun. Now, you and I are going to have a little bit of a friendly competition. I immediately regretted agreeing to this because I'm going to get absolutely smoked. But first up, are you going to let's see how you can actually
Absolutely.
shuck an oyster.
So for everybody at home and yourself, just to refresh, what you want to do, you check the oyster, you'll see the bottom is a little bit more bowed, the top is flat.
Okay.
You want to hold it secure, and you can use a rag to do this to protect your hand at home. I'm just going to move it so we can see what I'm doing.
Okay.
You're going to, while holding it steady, press into the back, the area we call the hinge, until you feel it stick.
Okay.
And then you can turn, and that's half of the job. In fact, that's the hard part.
Okay.
The oyster's now semi-open. You take your knife and go across the top of the shell, just cutting that one little spot.
Excuse me, but you made that look too easy.
Well, there's points for making them nice. If I
Okay.
scrambled this or made it look hard, I'd, get deductions. And I wouldn't
Okay.
have this fancy belt.
Yeah.
Lastly, you want to turn the oysters so the muscle in it is closer to you. That's
Okay.
the adductor muscle there. And you want to just cut that so the oyster is separated from the shell.
Okay.
And that's it.
And then you get a delicious oyster. Am I gonna eat it?
why
Okay,
not?
let's do it. Okay. We got it. What oysters are we using? First off, that was delicious.
These are Irish points from Prince Edward Island, and you'll find these at our festival this year, July 20th, at Rodney's Oyster House.
Amazing. Okay, fantastic. All right, so let's do this thing. Let's see who can shuck the most oysters in 30 seconds. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Are you ready?
I'm not at all ready. Let's get a timer up on the screen, shall we? 30 seconds on the clock. Audience, you want to count us in? Yeah. Okay. 2, 1. Okay. Oh my gosh, am I not even gonna get one? Oh, I got one. Okay, wait. What do we have? Okay, I got one. one.
Well, I'll say though, it's damn near perfect. That
Thank
one.
you
And
so
that's what matters.
much,
That's what
Chris.
matters.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
very
Chris. What an
appreciate it.
absolute delight. I can't wait to see you at the Oyster Festival. It's going to be fantastic.
there.
That's a wrap on today. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. See you tomorrow for more of the good stuff.